Okay, so there are a number of options that we have available with regards to the type of shutters. As I mentioned earlier, we've got the larger blade, the 90, and then we've got the smaller blade, the 60. And a couple of colours, we've got a bright white and then we have a natural white, as it were. We have found that these two work in every single application, whether it's modern or contemporary or traditional or in the commercial or residential market. So they're very easy to choose from, and it is really subjective at the end of the day. It's what you feel comfortable with. When it comes to measuring the window, don't be worried at all if the window isn't perfectly square. We've got two types of frames that we use for all of our shutters, and we use them most of the time to give that really polished finish to the shutter itself. So that's another point of difference that Thermalite have. We've got an L-shaped frame. This is one that's normally used for windows where we recess into the window frame and then we lay the shutter inside. And then we also have what's called a Z frame. And as you can see with the Z frame, with this particular section here, it sits on the outside of the window, so the framework is on the outside of the window. Your home might be an older home, or it might be a contemporary modern home, so there are different types of window settings. So these two, they'll definitely cover all of those. When it comes to the style of shutter, we can do hinged shutters, and I'll show you those later as well, the different types of hinging that we can use, or we can do sliders, as you can see with the shutters behind us. And these are really interesting to take note of too. You might have a window that's got a transom bar at one section. I would always have a fixed sort of section on the shutter for the transom bar, and then you can have two sections which you can open and close. It just creates a little bit of interest from light and filtering heat and privacy and so on and so forth. So that application will actually be suitable for a number of different styles of windows. The other thing that we can offer too is that seamless look, which is the clear view. There are no battens. You actually use your hands to open and close the blades, which is wonderful. So you've got the clear view going outside and you don't have any battens to hide any of the vision. So when you do decide to measure your windows, the first thing you probably want to do is to get a feel for how you want to have the hinges located within the window. You might have a really long window with sliding glass panels on either side and a fixed panel in the middle. Ideally you'd have them hinged on opposite sides. We'll give you all of the directions and all of the options. This just gives you a little bit of an idea about all of the options of the different sides of hinges that you can have. And again, we've got our team, they can help you. You can ring them up and they can walk through. There's no window we haven't done. There's no window Thermalite hasn't been able to do. So every scenario has been done before, so we can go through that with you. When you're ready to measure your window, we'll also provide you with some clear instructions how to measure the window, and there's a number of ways to do it. You'll see by some of the instructions here, obviously the height and the width. One of the other areas that you'll need to look at also are what are some of the incumbent handles on the windows themselves. You want to make sure that there's clearance so that you can still open windows without having to open the shutters. Again, every single window is a little different and a little unique, so just pay attention to that. We'll have clearance suggestions as well, which you'll see in all the instructions, how far away we do the framework to the handles to ensure that the ease of use will always be there and that no blade is going to hit the handle when it opens. But all of these steps we'll show you as we go through the measuring process. Really, at the end of the day, even though it might sound like there are a few bits and pieces that need to be done in order to get the right measurements, it's so easy. As I mentioned earlier, I've done it quite a few times and I've always got it right, so don't worry about it. It's very straightforward. Then when you get the delivery, all of the instructions how to install the shutters will be made available. So everything is there for you, step by step from the components that are in the box. So there'll be a checklist as to what is actually in the box and in the delivery, which components have to be installed first, and then which components second, third and fourth, and so on. You'll find that most of the shutters will be almost pre-ready. The hinges will be on there, so most of the job will be done in the factory. All you've got to do is click it into place. It's very, very easy.